Shema Yashala Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yashala Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yashala Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad Barak Yahweh, Barak Elshai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Elshai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Elshai. By Shaul Kakodash, I want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. As a high spiritual lawyer, all right. And today I want to go into a live stream going into Jake also has to heal from feminism. Jake also has to heal from feminism. It's a lot I haven't posted in the videos, done in the videos in a couple of days, so I gotta bounce back from that in the spirit. I also make sure my spirit on point as well. But Jake too has to heal or recover from feminism. All right, so in this country, all right, we've had a catastrophic event happen to our people. So-called blacks, Hispanic, Latino, and Native American people in slavery. But even after slavery, we had systems in which we could build families. Even during slavery, we had systems in which at least the foundation of a nation was still intact in the sense that we had families. So in lieu of, I mean, even with having our kids, our children, our offspring sold off to other plantations pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, even, you know, us being sold to other plantations, all right, we still married and had families, okay? We had wives, our women had husbands. Even if Edom made your wife breed with another man, all right, because he was more genetically adept, genetically competent to produce stronger babies, to produce better slaves, man. It's kind of fucked up even saying it, man. This is kind of hard, man. But this is what happened, man. But even with all those things, we still had respect for each other as a man and as a woman, and we still had wives, we had children, okay? I hate this shit, man. I hate this thing, what's going on, but I love to hate it because it keeps me spiritually alive, man. You know, the hatred that Eve has towards Jake, all right, the environment that we're in, I love to hate it because that's what keeps you alive and woke in the matrix. You know, like the elder apostle to Harvard always said, if our women were with us, then we'll get rocked back, we'll get complacent. But going back to the point, even with our children being sold to the plantations, or sold on different plantations, even with the mom or the father being sold to a different plantation, man, which is very traumatic. We still managed to have families wherever we went, as far as being on different plantations, and we had wives and children. And even after slavery, we definitely had wives and children. And if you look at our people, the 1920s, the 1930s, we were never a ragtag people. We always carried ourselves as a collective with dignity and grace, all right? Dignity, gravitas, all right, which is dignity held in great regard, all right? And our women, they had something called elegance. They were elegant, all right? And this is in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, just by looking at the pictures. You can tell that we had certain characteristics that was prevalent back then that you don't see as prevalent now. Okay? Shalom. But you fast forward to 2024, and the very fundamental thing that's required to keep a nation intact has been under attack. The very thing that's been required to keep the nation intact has kept our race or our nation under attack. And it's the family. Eve is a software program She has a software program called Feminism that re-engineered her mind away from the very man that kept our nation intact, the so-called black man, and ultimately the black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Okay? And when you grow up as a man under the vibration of the matriarch, because 70% of households, 70 to 90, are single-parent households. So you grow up in a vibration where there's no man in the household, there's no man leading the household. It's dominant in the household because she might have a man that's in the household, but it's more like her boyfriend, her man. If you don't have a man that's the leader in the household, all right, there's no development of the man of that child. There's no development of those boys or the girls. All right? And if you grew up in that environment, even if you don't grow up directly in that environment, you grew up culturally in that environment where the environment was ruled by women, then guess what? You're affected. You're affected. If you've been in relationships with non-traditional women, if you've been in so-called marriages or relationships, and you've been viewed, you've been assessed by the mind of a feminist woman, a modern woman, then you too have been affected by feminism. If you, like I said, if you've had a baby, or if you've had a relationship by a woman whose mind is modern, or her mind is a feminist mind, it's a liberal mind, and she's judging you through societal norms, you too as a man has to heal from feminism. All right? If you was raised by your mom, or you was raised in the matriarch, you was raised just the way you were raised is a byproduct of feminism, or a byproduct of the welfare, you have to heal. A lot of men in their 30s and 40s and 50s, they still have to heal from their foundation. It's not like you grew out of it. Sometimes you can grow out of it, but a lot of times it doesn't happen naturally. You realize that you have to do the works. And it's truth, you have to unplug from the matrix, or unplug from this shit to really develop yourself and work on yourself, man. So Jake too has to heal from feminism, man. The Israelite man has to heal from feminism. The Israelite man has to heal from black culture. And Eve has to heal too. All right? And Eve has to heal too. But Eve, in mass, is not interested in healing. What I noticed about Eve just wants the status quo. You know? Because in order to heal, you have to reclaim the Israelite man as your master, as your head. The Israelite man as your head. But for a woman who's judged you by the 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 figures, that's not your woman, man. She doesn't have you in her best interest, man. All right? People say, people ask Jake, like, why do you step outside of your race? Well, a modern woman is not within my race. That's not our fucking woman. All right? We might deal with Eve because of proximity. That's not our woman. All right? The women that came off those boats, those are our women. I don't know who this is. All right, with the blonde hair or straight hair or just that frivolous mindset. All right? That's not our woman. All right? And what I notice about the inner city has been decivilized, and it's pure instinct. It's just pure instinct. Everybody's primitive. The nigga is primitive. The nigga woman is primitive. All right? She don't really want Jake, the decent Jake to those babies pop out, man. It's not. Survival mode doesn't equal to love, man. All right? Survival mode doesn't equal to love. All right? But Jake too has to heal from feminism. You have to heal from the so-called black woman's perception of black men. And once you get involved with them, you're affected by their perception of you. Whether it's subtle or not so subtle, whether it's covert or overt, you're affected by how she perceives you. And a woman's perception of you, all right, it's going to determine your mindset, your mental state, man. Okay? Jake too has to heal from feminism, man. You have to heal from being raised, being up under your mom. Even if your mom meant well by you, you know, the Bible that we read didn't say anything about being raised by your mothers, man, or your aunties and your grandma. You have to heal from that, man. You have to go on your own journey of manhood. Even if you have the foundation of being a man, like, okay, you're a worker, you're a hard worker, but just these underlying things that may have affected you in your youth. You have to heal from, you know, black culture, man, and consumerism and materialism. You have to heal from those things, man. We're not going to have this American mindset in the kingdom. So-called black woman has to heal from desiring to be independent from the so-called black man, or desiring to be a leader herself or a queen. She has to take that leap of faith and allow the man to lead, man. All right? We've been affected in many ways that we may not be able to detect, man. All right? It says, Isaiah 3:12, children are the oppressors of women rule over you. So there's a psychological effect of women ruling over you, whether it's directly or indirectly, whether it's just culturally, you know? May just be culturally women ruling over you, but it's still under Isaiah 3:12. All right? So Jake too has to heal from feminism, man. It tells you in the scripture where yet this day in our captivity, man. We're still in our captivity. All right, you still held captive, man. All right? Let's get some water. It's funny tasting the water. You know? We still have to heal from our captivity. We still have to heal from this modern things. And the reason why I said all those things about slavery, and I was naming in detail the things that were happening in slavery in regards to family, all right, and what Esau has done, we still managed to stay intact. So why isn't Jake able to stay intact with his woman now? Because now it's a psychological warfare, all right? It's psychological versus them physically attacking us. It's a cultural attack now. If you can control someone's culture, you can control their mindset. If you can control their mindset, you can control their path in life. All right, you're giving them a software program. Program literally means to write before. All right, to write. So you're writing a script that they're going to follow, which means you control their minds. So even though we're not directly in agricultural slavery, now it's a societal attack on our people, man. But what you will find out, man, once you stop dealing with Eve, all right, or you stop dealing with the nigga community, all right, you're not fucking with Jake like that, and you have isolation, you realize that you was a part of a very toxic environment, man. You was a part of some very toxic bullshit, man. Just the nigga community in general is some toxic bullshit, man. All right, you have to heal from the underlying belief in America as a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man that who you are is not enough. Just that mindset of who you are is not enough. You have to heal from that because you are enough. And you got to tell yourself that you are enough. And for the sisters on here, you know, you have to make sure that you're judging yourself by Yahweh's perspective of you and not society's perspective of you. There's a reason why Venus, Serena, Lil Kim, and all these different singers have bleached their skin. All right, they haven't healed from this man's captivity. It's deeper than, oh, he went to slavery. It's deeper than that. He still has your mind. So the sisters on this, and it's true. You have to make sure you tapped in with Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakodash. You have to make sure you put in the work to, you know, to not only deal with your husband, but appreciate your husband. You know, I don't want to say, you know, you don't want to, like the scripture says, you know, let the women learn in silence. But it's just something I'm telling sisters. But just put a general admonition out, man. Just make sure that, because it's in the back of your mind. If you was born and raised in America, you have feminist engineering in your mind. That's how we have Babylonian engineering in our mind. We have certain underlying programmings in our mind that you still have to be cognizant of and check. All right. because you're going against the grain of this society, you know. But no, Jake has to heal from feminism. The so-called black man, black Hispanic Native American man, has to heal from feminism. You have to heal from you not getting your wife. The average Jake, a lot of Jakes didn't get their wife, all right, of their nation, or you know, when you were in your 20s or whatever, when you could have gotten a wife, you most likely did not because she was too busy embarking on feminism. All right, you have to heal from that. It tells you that he who doesn't have a wife, a man who doesn't have a wife, will run up and down the street mourning. That's in Sirach, roughly paraphrasing. So we were just how they were designed to have us, we were designed to have them. All right. So we have to heal, you know, but it's not about finding some happy life, happy wife type thing, because, or having a happy family type thing either. Like, you know, let me try to find a family, because we know that we're in the end. We know that we are in the end. All right, this is not for deliberately making families, making babies. Although, you know, when you get with a woman, those things can happen, but you're not deliberately making an effort to do so. Okay? But Jake has been affected by this shit, man. Jake has to heal from feminism. Jake has to heal from Edomite supremacy. Sometimes you might pray, all right, you still might see Cesare Borgia. You might see Christopher Serapis. You got to heal from that shit, man. You got to heal from that shit, man. But you got to heal from feminism, because a woman that's basically tapped in with feminism, she has to play into this role that who you are is not enough. Just that affects your spirit, man. All right, Eve affects your spirit, man. All right, Eve that's tapped into this modern shit, you know, she affects your spirit, man. You have to heal from that shit, man. Okay? It tells you that a man will be more precious than fine gold, man. All right, that's the most valuable element on that periodic table. That's the most precious element, is that gold, man. We're more precious than that gold, but we're in a cultural captivity right now, a cultural prison. All right? Not only are we systemic slaves, we're grid slaves, we're debt slaves, but on top of that, you got something in the media. From every angle, there's a psychological attack. There's an advertisement on a fucking city bus with a so-called black woman and her son without the father. Man, that's a societal attack, man. You know, you have a picture of a so-called white woman with her so-called white husband and the children. But when it comes to Jake, it's a nigga woman and her son. All right? And if you women are so fucking smart, why can't you see that this modernization of yourself and feminism is an attack on the so-called black man? And I always say to myself, I say, if you are the descendants of enslaved people and the only enemy you have is other enslaved people, then you're still, at least on a mental level, an enslaved person. All right? You're an enslaved person. If the only people you see that with enmity is your own race, then you're still an enslaved person, man. You know? But I have to say about Esau Edom, that boy good, though. That boy good. How you can engineer a woman to be against you like that. All right? That Destiny's Child, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my automobiles? That was part of their social engineering. That wasn't just a song. All right? E making whores into celebrities and having this feminist mindset. They rapping about abortions. They rapping about infidelity. They rapping in the feminist lens, in the feminist paradigm. A so-called black man is nothing more than a sexual function. He's a producer to make babies, just like on a plantation. Or he's a plantation producer, all right, through a black woman's feminist lens, or he's just an ATM machine. So either she could love you on an animal level, or she could like you on an animal level, or she could like you on a money level, man. All right? She's been reduced to a whore, and you've been reduced to a trick through feminist lenses, man. All right? And that's the decivilization of our people, man. We've been reduced to the primitive instincts. Not the elect, but just the 2/3 of our people, man. All right? But with that, you know, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakodash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba, Bow, Kom Yashala, Shalom.